Hello, this is Richard Montarbo. This is the second in a series of 3 YouTube videos regarding the CompCalc Basic and Plus versions. Now let's start out with a quick disclaimer. It's not my intent to create an attorney-client relationship nor provide legal advice to any of the viewers of this instructional video, nor to any user of the CompCalc Basic or Plus versions. The viewer of this video, as well as the users of the CompCalc Basic and Plus versions, are instructed to consult competent legal counsel as well as the DEU to confirm the accuracy of all ratings as well as all indemnity calculations. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Again, I'll be using my iPhone 6, but whether you're using a Droid or a Droid tablet or an iPad or a Mac computer, it's pretty much the CompCalc works the same, and you should be able to figure it out. Okay, we're going to start by tapping on the icon, and this is the first display you'll see. It goes right into the permanent disability rating manual schedule. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to do a rating for you. We're just going to focus on the PD rating module, and the first thing I want you to be aware of is, again, you have the icons for the different modules at the bottom. You'll see that you have a whisk broom to zero everything out. You have an export feature. We'll be going over that. When you want to add an additional rating string, you have a plus, and then if you want to erase a rating string, you have a scratch pad. So let's start out with date of birth. We're going to tap on, it says tap to select. We're going to tap on tap to select, and we're going to put a date of birth. Let's say that it's January 26th, 1960. Okay, now I can either hit OK or double tap. I'm going to double tap. That fills in the date of entry. Now what you're going to see is down here it says body, whole person impairment, DFEC, occupation and age. We're going to fill that in as we build our rating string. Now we're going to tap on date of injury, and this is 2010 May 26, 2010 date of injury. So again, I can hit OK or I can double tap on the date. I just double tap. Now I'm going to put in the whole person impairment. We're going to do a DRE 3 13% low back injury. So I go ahead and roll up 13%. That's the whole person impairment, and we fill in the box the whole person impairment 13%. You can see down here that WPI has been changed to 13%. Okay, we don't see the age or the date of birth, or I'm sorry, the age based on the date of birth or the date of injury, because we're not calculating anything yet. Now we see we have to fill in part of body and occupation. Now I'm going to tap on the phrase part of body. It's going to do a reverse flip, and it's going to go into general part of body and detailed part of body. I'm going to tap over here in the field. It says tap to select, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to move down here to spine. I'm going to double tap on spine. Now I'm going to go to detailed part of body. I'm going to double tap on that. Now this is, you'll note that this is a relational database. It's only going to bring up the part of body that is relevant to your earlier selection regarding the general part of body. It only brings up the specific part of body related to the general. And what we're going to do is this is a DRE, lumbar diagnosis related estimate. I'm going to double tap on that and select that. Now you can see down here we're starting to build our rating string further. Now I'm going to go ahead and go over here to general part of body. I'm going to tap in that area, and it's going to flip back to the main menu essentially, and it says part of body occupation. Now I'm going to tap on occupation because I have to put in my occupation. You can see it's empty. I'm going to tap over here on tap to select occupation, and what I want you to be aware of here is there's 3 ways to get into this. First of all, you can tap here for occupational groups. I'm going to tap there just so you can see it, and then I'll come back. These are all the occupational groups, and you can select right off of that. If you go back up there, and I just tapped, I'm going to tap up there, watch. Now I'm in occupational group. It says tap for occupational industries. I'm going to go back to occupational industries. Here's a list of occupational industries, but you'll see that I have all industries or any industry. I'm going to tap on either of those. In this example, I'm going to use all industries. I'm going to double tap on that. Now, when I go to Schedule of Occupations, I'm going to tap on that right here. It says tap to select. I'm going to tap on that. Here's an alphabetized list of all occupations. Okay? I'm going to cancel out of that. I'm going to go up here and cancel out of that because I'm not going to select it because I'm showing you what it does. I'm going to go back to all industries and I'm going to select automotive services, and I'm going to select Schedule of Occupations. Now you'll see that when I tap on Schedule of Occupations, that I only have automotive occupations. I'm going to go ahead and motorcycle repairer. Okay, and now I'm going to go back to the main menu by tapping in this area. And you can see I've completed my rating string. It takes that 13%, adjusts it for age, occupation, including DFUC, given the date of injury, applies those modifiers to it, and we end up with 22% PD. The adjusted PD of 22%, given the date of injury, at max, produces 19,665. Okay, but what if we have apportionment? This is a back injury, and you see the apportionment here. I'm going to tap on the word apportionment, and I'm going to say that this is 85% industrial. We go back, we tapped on 85%. You can see it automatically calculates the apportionment and drops it down to 19%. We also have input average weekly wage. Now, right now it says PD rate maximum 230, and that's what the amount of PD at the bottom is reflected given a 19%, given the date of injury. But I want to show you something. I just tapped on average weekly wage, and it shows me the max average weekly wage for the maximum PD. But I'm going to change that. So I'm going to tap on this 345. Up comes a screen. I'm going to use the backspace key to backspace over that. And I'm going to say that he actually only earns $250 a week. I'm going to hit return. And look at it. It changes from max PD to PD rate because we're somewhere between the max and min. Given the average weekly wage, it automatically recalculated a 19%. Given that new permanent disability indemnity rate, down to a total award of $11,750. Now let's say we're going to go back here to the average weekly wage. Let's say that he doesn't even earn $250. Let's say that he only earns $100 a week. Look what happens. It takes that $100, goes up to the minimum average weekly wage for the minimum PD rate. It takes that minimum rate, applies 19% given the number of weeks, and recalculates your permanent disability indemnity. Okay, so now we have our first rating string. But you know what? He not only injured his back, he also injured his upper extremity. So I'm going to go up here. See this plus symbol? I'm going to tap on that. And I want you to watch down here because another rating string is going to come up. Now I'm working on the reverse highlighted rating string. And what do we want to do? The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to apportionment because there's no apportionment on the upper extremity. So it's 100% industrial. I'm going to double tap on that. Then I'm going to go to occupation, which is going to remain the same. I'm not going to worry about that. But I'm going to go to part of body and change the spine to upper extremity. Let's say he has a peripheral neuropathy there. So I'm going to select a peripheral neuropathy corpse 1. Okay. Now I've just modified my second rating string. And you'll see something that the CompCalc does automatically. It takes the two rating strings and provides a combined value and then recalculates the partial permanent disability indemnity. So now you have the combined value of an 85%, 13% whole person impairment, 85% industrially caused, 13% standard adjusted for age and occupation, producing a 19% level of disability combined with an upper extremity injury. But oops, we just noticed we made a mistake. We left that 13% in there. It actually is only 7%. So I'm going to double tap up here on the whole person impairment. I'm going to change it to 7%. Change the input. It automatically recalculates both the combined value as well as the amount. Okay, so now we have our rating string, and you can calculate up to 7 separate rating strings. Now you have it. What do you do with it? Well, let's export it. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here to the export feature, which is the box with the upward arrow. I'm going to tap on that, and it says I can save, restore, print, mail, or copy. I'm going to start by saving it on my device. I hit save, and you can see the applicant's name, which is John, and the physician's name, which is Ed. We're making this simple, right? The case number, which is going to be A, D, J, and some numbers. Okay? And our notes, we're going to put in the note field example. Okay? And now I've filled all this in, and I'm going to store it on my device simply by hitting the save, the floppy disk icon up there. So I hit that. Now I've saved it away. Okay? Now I'm going to hit the whisk broom, and I'm going to zero everything out. I'm going to erase everything. It gives me a warning. Yeah, I want it removed. And now I'm going to restore it. Again, I'm going to go to the export feature, and I'm going to restore it. It's going to give me a list, and this was an earlier example that I did for somebody at the board today, but I want John. So I'm going to double tap on John, and bam, it's back up. Now let's say that I want to email that. Now you can see I can print it to a wireless. I'm not going to go through that, but if you tapped on that and you had a wireless available, you would be able to export it to a wireless. But the mail feature is really neat. I'm going to tap on mail, and up comes, you can see this is everything that we saved away. Here's the mail icon. I'm going to tap on that, and bam, I'm going to send this to my personal email address, which is Lassen Ranch. Everybody knows I have cutting horses. LASSENRANCH@AOL.com. Okay? So I've just stayed, and you can see that on my iPhone it brings up out of my contacts, it anticipates for me where I want to send it. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that, and I'm going to say send it, and I've just sent it to my email. Now I'm going to go ahead and suspend what I'm doing here, and let's see. No, I'm not going to be able to pick it up. You know why? I'm up at my ranch. Well, let's try it. I'm going to hit my email. I'm going to go into my inbox and see if I can retrieve this. Now I'm not going to be able to. You know why? I don't have it all. But if I could, if I did have access, I'd be able to bring that up and have that as an email. Now let's go back into, well, let me show you a couple of things. Let's say now we want to erase this rating string because we're doing a what if. We go up here to the scratch pad. Watch what happens. I'm going to tap on the scratch pad, and I'm going to erase the second line. I just tap on the minus symbol, and then I hit delete. And it's gone. And it automatically readjusted my output calculation. Let me show you something else. If I go to the export feature, and I want to go to my restore, and I want to get rid of this FGG, which was just an example I showed somebody at the board today. I'm going to go ahead and swipe this. I'm going to put my finger here and swipe it across. And all I did was push my finger across like that. Up pops the delete. I hit delete, and now that's gone. Okay? To go back, I just hit cancel, and I'm back to the menu. Okay, hopefully that answers most of your questions regarding this module. Of course, just like all of them, we also have the average weekly wage. We can input the max or min. I'm gonna give you one example of that real quick. You'll see that it automatically, I'm going to backspace, I'm going to say he makes $200. Now watch what happens to over here, okay, to the maximum rate. I just put in $200, I hit return. Oh, it's a PD rate. Why? Because it calculated his indemnity rate somewhere between the max and min, gives you that rate, and it recalculated given the percentage, multiplies it by the number of weeks, given the percentage, given the date of injury, to give you a new PD indemnity amount. Okay, hopefully that has answered most of your questions on how to do a rating and some of the features and functions of the rating module. If you have any questions or comments, or if you have any suggestions, feel free to give me a call. If you tap on it, let me show you in this video one other feature. If I go to More and I go to About, right here is all the information that you might want on our firm. If you tap on montalbolaw.com, I'm going to see if that's going to work. Like I said, I'm up at my ranch, but I do have internet access here. I don't have, let's see if it brings it up. Let's give it a moment here. Stay with me. It's working. Anyway, it should bring up my, it looks like it's trying, bring up my web address. The internet access up here is pretty slow, but it should bring up my montalbolaw.com. And there it is. There's my website simply by going to About. Okay, I'm going to go back to my main menu and back to my CompCalc and then back to the rating, PD rating portion of the CompCalc Plus. Okay, again, hopefully that's answered all your questions or some of your questions. Feel free to give me a call or contact me if you have any additional questions. If you have any suggestions, I'd really like to hear them. I received one today at the board that I'm going to incorporate. And again, if you need access to these support videos, all you have to do is make sure you have the current version of the CompCalc Basic or Plus, and go to the support menu under the More down here, and it'll have the links to these YouTube videos. Okay, thanks so much.